Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SRL for Tier 1's race today at the Sotchi Autodrome here in Russia. First breaking ground in July of 2011, being opened 3 years later in September 2014 to host its first ever Formula One Grand Prix in that same very year. Constructed and designed by Herman Tilke, it's hosted some major events, including the Russian Grand Prix, of course, Formula 2, Formula 3, World Touring Car Cup, and other series that have since been discontinued. The circuit is 5.848 kilometers in length, similar to where we were last week in Britain, with 18 turns and then a lap record of a 1 minute 35.761 set by Lewis Hamilton in 2019. A tough circuit for the drivers to navigate today, but they're going to give it their utmost to take maximum points at this tricky track. And we'll talk about points in just a moment here, because of course last week was the British Grand Prix, a grueling battle between many drivers fighting for positions. We saw an absolutely excellent battle right to the end of the race between I believe it was Gaben and Emzo, I think it was. Of course, Gaben had a whole heap of penalties that dropped him way down the order. We'll run through the results from last week. Noel Coleman took the win ahead of Nuggetbox, who did get an extra point for the fastest lap. Alexander Dejou took the final point position on the podium. Emzo just missed out in 4th position, then Hib in 5th, 6th for Dicta, and 7th for Dynamite. Crucial points going back for Alpha Tauri, finishing 6th and 7th. Lord Gaben was in 8th, then 9th for Tixie. Linus was in 10th, and Ricard just missed out on the points, as did Strax, Cello, Viberg, and then not finishing the race was Skillers. It's going to be a very difficult race in Russia, which could shake up the championship standings, and speaking of which, it is very hotly contested at the moment. Emzo still does lead the way, even without a win so far in this championship, currently on 80 points, just 5 points back on even more podiums, but still no wins, is Nuggetbox in 2nd on 75, and then Narastage, of course, not racing last week, winner of the French Grand Prix. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were in 3rd on 74 points. Tixie just a little bit way back in 4th with 53 points. Noel Carmon, with his win last week, managed to climb his way up to 5th in the standings with 43 points. Lord Gaben on 39 points, and Cello drops to 7th on 35. Dynamite on 24. Alexander Dejou on 15 points, of course, with that podium. In 9th, then Skillers in 10th on 14 points. Dicta on 13, same as Linus. Both of them are 11th and 12th. Then Hib got their first points of the season last week for Alpine. He is currently on 10. Viborg is on 4 points. Psycho on 3 points, and then still yet to score in this championship. We've got Vincent sorry, I can't say that name there. We've got Vincent, Viberg, Ade, Strax, and Ricard, one of the reserves, and then of course Grenade Goran on 12 points, but not classed in the championship because they are a reserve. And we'll have a look at how that all affects the Constructors' Championship. It is currently held by the Aston Martin team on 128 points. 5 podiums in 6 races for both their drivers, including 1 win. Red Bull sitting on 115 points, just behind in 2nd. Then Mercedes, a large majority of these points coming out from Narastaja. They're on 88 points. McLaren are in 4th on 54. They had a good rate last time out. Williams in 5th with their win from Noel Coleman, scoring 43 of their 46 points. Then Alpha Tauri on 37 points. They're in 6th, and Ferrari a long way back on 13. They're in 7th, then the reserve team in 8th, 9th for Alpine, and then 10th for Alfa Romeo. Actually just wondering what team is missing from there. Haas aren't considered for whatever reason in this championship. But, ladies and gentlemen, enough about the standings and whatnot, because we do have some action. It's about to begin on circuit. I'll play the intro once again, and then I'll bring you into the qualifying session very shortly. 18 minutes of qualifying to be ran, and then I believe a 28 lap race. So everybody, I will see you on the other side. Apologies about that. Brought you over to the wrong scene. But we are here. We've already got some drivers coming out on circuit. 14 racers turning up today. The first is a Haas car, Lil Tango. I've not yet seen in this championship. Just got to adjust my cable. Just bear with me here. So, let's see how this works out. We'll ride on board for their out lap and they get a full comprehensive rundown of how their lap goes. As, of course, got to go slowly here. It's looking nice and sunny out in Russia, Sotchi Autodrome. You'll see a lot of these drivers make some mistakes with some track limits. I feel like they're going to be an issue coming into this race. The number 95 car comes in the second sector. Flat out right-hander just here. Of course, they've got a lot quicker on their lap. You can see them extending the track, trying to make as much of it as possible. Of course, when on a flying lap, you must keep within the white lines surrounding the circuit so as to not invalidate your lap. Again, these are very punishing round, especially in the third sector. Mostly just a series of 90-degree corners. Very tricky to get absolutely right. Here they go under the bridge section and through to this third sector here. We're right on board with Lil Tango as they begin out on their lap. There's Nugget Box in behind as well in the Aston Martin. And Metal Maskin, that's our first three drivers. I believe Papa Aberg is the next one. But here we go. Lil Tango going to begin us off on the first lap of this qualifying session. Running up towards turn number 1. You don't even need to think about lifting through here. We could see some drama later on in the at the start of the race. As coming through in towards turn number 2 now. You've got to watch your run through here because you can invalidate. He's taking that very nicely tight now to the left-hand side of the circuit, taking the shortest run possible. Reaching speed up to 294-95 kilometers per hour, and to complete the first sector replica just in front of our Haas driver here, Lil Tango sets a 33.1 through the first sector. Of course, it is going to be purple. No one else has completed this part of the circuit yet, but looking like it's a strong lap already. Coming now through the second sector, right-hander, and up towards the next left here. The gazes ever so closer to the Red Bull car in front, hoping to not get held up. Might actually get a slipstream as right over the curbs, the Sotchi curb there. Dissettled the car ever so slightly. Cello going to get out of the way of Lil Tango's Haas, and as is Emzo. I believe this is, I do tell a lie, it is Danny right now coming through in towards the second sector split and in towards sector 3 now. We'll see what the American car can do. Nikita Mazepin's home Grand Prix, but I'd hope for the sake of the Haas drivers they're not going to channel their inner Mazepin. That's coming through now. The two final corners, the penultimate right-hander here, and up towards turn number 18. We'll see what the first run of the day is from Lil Tango. It's going to be 30.9. We'll see what Nugget Box can do. Coming across the line here, it's looking slower than Tango by quite some margin. 4/10 is the gap between the pair of them. We'll run on board with Papa Aberg. It's about to be the next one to cross the line. Metal Maskin did go ever so slower than their teammate. It's about only 15 thousandths of a second between it. Papa Aberg slower than Nugget Box, currently slowest drivers putting a lap so far. We'll ride on board a full run of Emzo here. Championship leader at the moment by just 5 points. Their rival at the moment, their adversary of Nugget Box, currently in 4th position out of 5th, who set a lap, and oh dear, Emzo having a spin. That's another incident, another crash in qualifying 2 weeks in a row. Now he's got to wait for the other drivers to get out of the way. He's got to move eventually. There we go. Slide across here. Hopefully, he does not stay in the way of Metal Maskin. That would have been quite disastrous if that was the case. But I think Emzo's done a really good job of staying out of the way of other drivers here. And oh dear, that was Victor going for another slide. Some slight wing damage on the AlphaTauri. A lot of these drivers struggling in the second sector there. We'll follow along with Cello as they complete their lap. Coming through now the final sector here. Drama already. It's only been a third of the way through. We're 6 minutes down, 12 to go. We've seen 7 drivers set laps so far. It's a Haas 1-2 at the moment. Only 3 drivers to go into the 1 minute 30s. Cello just missed out on that by 0.3 of a second. in 4th position, 2nd row position, ahead of Nugget Box. Metal Maskin went for a 2nd run in a row and actually managed to improve on their time. Now, one of the quickest drivers potentially on the grid, missing last week's race due to illness, if I'm not mistaken. Just quickly bring up the Twitch chat. Hopefully everything is running nice and smoothly. I do believe so. Here we go, Narastarja through the final sector. See the black Mercedes car rise. What can they do? Coming now through the final sector. 2 corners left to go, turn 17 and then turn number 18. Narastarja to cross the line, and it is quickest of all so far. Ahead of Metal Maskin, now knocking Lil Tango off the front row. Impressive stuff coming out from Narastarja, really asserting themselves as one to watch in this race. Let's see if we can find anyone on a run at the moment. I think Bubbles might have completed that lap. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Bubbles just finished up on a run. Ahead of Blue Monkey. Blue Monkey is actually pushing on a 2nd run in a row. And is 1/10 of a second up on their previous best time. 31.7. It's a full second off of Narastarja, who currently is leading the way. Number 27 Alpine car. Shades of Nico Hulkenberg is coming through here. His teammates just in front, but not willing to give a slipstream. So down the straight here, what can Blue Monkey do? It's going into the second split. 3/10 up on their previous best time. Looking impressive so far for the Alpine. Now we'll see through the final sector here. Arguably the trickiest part, especially through here. You really got to be half-mast with your throttle application. Managed to do that quite nicely. Going to back off here into the pit lane. Must not have felt that lap. You can see the blinking red fuel lights at the bottom of your screen there. That might indicate that you're not going to make it back to the pit lane on time. But they know that they've got the pace. They know they've got the pace to fight and improve on their times. Maybe not right at the top with the likes of Narastarja and Metal Maskin, but possibly could find an avenue in there later. Skillers is on a run at the moment, 104.9 through the 2nd sector split, through sector 3. His teammate at the moment leading the way at the top. Didn't finish last week's race, did Skillers. Hoping for a better outing in Russia. Goes through the final sector of this track now. Skiller's going to cross the line. It's only 9th fastest. Just behind Bubbles at the moment in Ferrari. Seeing a lot of drivers on outlaps. On a flying run at the moment. Or Alexander Dejou. Recently signing for EPOS. And they've just gone through the first corner now. Down the straight. It's the quickest part, the speed trap in this track. 325 kilometers per hour. Dear, slide there. Manages to just about save it. But that suggests the lap's completely in the bin. I don't think Alexander Dejou is going to find any time that will be competitive. Manages to hold it very nicely though, so I do respect that. Lil Tango's just on the lap in front, but I think we'll go on board with him there then. We'll go on set of a soft compound of tyre. 200s up on their previous best time. Of course, had a mistake coming up to the right-hander onto straight down here. We'll just pass it now. Maybe distracted by Cello in front. With the invalidation for Lil Tango. That lap down the drain. We'll find Enzo. Just on the part of the track behind Lil Tango. I believe it's B-Bird, the next one behind in the Alfa Romeo. And then it's Big Papa A-Bird. We'll see Enzo on the set of the mediums. See how competitive this time is. 104.653. On the set of the mediums is very impressive. Seemingly, Enzo could find their pace around this circuit, but again, having to wrestle the car on the power. Struggling ever so slightly here. The beautiful white Red Bull car still in the game. I don't know when they're going to re-update it and bring back the Red Bull. The normal livery. That's not a topic for now with Enzo across the line here. Only 1.374. Set of medium compound of tyres. I think he'd be quite pleased with that one. Only driver to set a lap on this set. Jumped a number of drivers. Papa A-Bird going slowly in the third sector here. Spun the wrong way round. Got to get facing the other direction. Here we go. Got to get out the way of Narastarja on an outlap as well. Let's see who can we find? We can find Dicta in the final sector at the moment. I think Cello's just begun a lap. Abo's got to get out of the way of the AlphaTauri car, pulling off to the right hand side. Might have been a slight bit dirty air coming off the back of that Alpha. Or the other Alpha, the AlphaTauri of Dicta, and struggling through the final sector, turn 17 on the power. Was a bit rusty, but still manages to go into second position. And imagine without that mistake, probably could have jumped Narastarja, who has just begun a lap. 7 minutes to go, left in this qualifying, plenty of time to put in a lap here for the Mercedes driver and come back into pit and then go out again for a third run of the session. Narastarja through the first sector here, the long-winded left-hander switching it in to the right on the power through fifth gear and across to the second sector. Into the second sector. It is only a 100 improvement, but it is an improvement nonetheless. Now coming through the second sector of the circuit, Narastarja rises. Lil Tango has just improved and beaten Narastarja at the moment, so it's going to be all on the line for the Mercedes car. Third in the standings at the moment, 1 point behind Nugget Box, currently riding in 7th position. This could be crucial for the championship to be ahead of their rivals as Narastarja now rises and roars through into the long straight, the DRS straight. The speeds up to 322 kilometers per hour, coming now into the braking zone. It is almost a 3/10 improvement from the Mercedes. Brilliant stuff so far on this run, and spiking the car on the power, coming out of the left-hander and in towards the final sector here for the Mercedes car. What is it going to be? Narastarja look really confident on this lap, and now through turn number 17 and up towards turn number 18, just under the Armco there. What is it going to be for Narastarja? As quickest of the bunch. Did lose time in that final sector, but it is still enough to jump ahead of Lil Tango. 1 minute 30.682. Lil Tango might be slightly a bit annoyed by that one there, but he's just got to come back and attack later on. Still got 5 minutes and 25 seconds left in the session. I think Papa Abos has gone into 6th position, running 2 and 3/4 tenths of their previous best lap. Couldn't find anyone in the final sector. For him, unfortunately invalid, so I think Metal Maskin might be the... Oh, sorry, Lil Tango? No. Lil Tango's not pushing at the moment. Alexander Dejou not pushing either. What about Skillers on an outlap at the moment? So some of these drivers gearing up for their final runs in this session, I would bet. See if we can catch anyone on an actual lap. Blue Monkey not pushing at the moment. What about Cello? Cello's coming through the second sector split here into sector 3, and it is an improvement. So, Cello will watch through the final sector here. They continue on this improvement. They'll be into 1 minute 30s. I'll put them at least ahead of probably Hib, I would say. Maybe not quicker than Dicta, but it all depends on how this final sector goes for the Red Bull car. Currently a 5th row lockout for the Red Bull team. Not what they want to be, considering they're second in the constructors. There we go. Cello finds himself up into 4th position ahead of Dicta. About 200 per second. Dicta, of course, can go for another lap. They've all got time to go for another run. Watch him through here. Slight improvements, but it's enough to put them ahead of Dicta. And maybe ahead of Cello if they can find a little bit more time in this final sector here. We have Dylan Flags. I believe that might be Papa Abo, who won for the 2nd run in a row. Didn't think about the fuel of the car. So they've got to crawl their way back into the pit lane. We've got the annoying yellow flags on our screen. Go across the line. There we go, ahead of Cello. 2/10 improvement. Managed to find it all in that final sector. Very close at the moment. About 1/10 per second, just over, separates the top 4. So really tight margins in this grid so far. Papa Avo finally finds their way back into the pit lane. They're going very slowly. I don't care to admit it. Bubbles on their run at the moment. Could be their last run of the session. They'll come have time to come back into the pits and then go again. So we'll see. Opposite the Ferrari car, currently starting in 11th position, giving them a free set of tyre, free choice. It could be advantageous coming into the race. We'll just have to wait and see. Come to the final sector now. There is an improvement. Well, 2/10 ahead of Enzo. Enzo is on an outlap at the moment. P10 at the moment, only jumped up 1 position. 1 say it's the most ideal spot to be in. Got Vivo on their lap at the moment. And a number of spins in the final race. Speaking of spins, Dicta might just run around. Might have been getting out of the way, but Vivo gets put in a lap so far this session. Has managed to find a bit of time through the first sector. Indicate purple, but I don't believe that is entirely factual. As Dicta, I think, having more issues on their out there. You see Vivo through here, oh dear. Snapping the steering. And that's putting them way off the circuit. Vivo's going to be likely not setting a competitive time. Can go for another run. Got a Haskell just in front. With Lil Tango actually should have gone their run. I think we'll watch Lil Tango on their slap here. And we'll hop on board with Narastarja once they begin their run. Through the first sector now. Keeping it tight to the left hand side. Really left-hander here. Not too far off the back at the moment, only 200ths of a second. You can find fractions through the corners just so that they can sense pole position. As a start, 13 thousandths improvement, cuts the margin by half, but an invalidation. Unfortunate there from Lil Tango. So I think Metalmaskin just begun on a run as well. See if we can catch Narastarja at the moment, just going through the final sector. Watch Metalmaskin begin this run. Looking to improve and beat their teammate who has unfortunately lost out on their time. Someone slowly through the first sector. Vivo going to be tied on circuit. Naughty. Narastarja begins their lap. Metalmaskin, unfortunately, not quicker through the first sector. I'll tell you one thing, that yellow flag is very annoying. Finally, it's cleared away, but then we get another one straight away. Blue Monkey this time, going slow in the final sector. In the meantime, Metalmaskin. Skiller's just in front on an outlap, hoping to not get in the way. Either Emzo or Cello in behind. It's Cello, speaking of Emzo, smashes everyone climb out of the water. 1 minute 30.223, and that is quick. Now 0.4 of a second ahead of anyone else. Narastarja still is improving through the first sector here. Metalmaskin is down, so I think, you know what, we'll find Narastarja on this run. Emzo has found an improvement, which has completely blown their time out of the water. Narastarja's got to put everything into this lap, and now coming through the second sector down the straight here. It is an improvement, but not enough. 1 1/10 of a second, 1.5 tenths up on their previous best. They've got to be very smooth through here. Dicta has improved to go into second position and on to the front row of the grid, but Narastarja could still have something to say about it. It's now coming through turn number 17, just about here and up towards turn 18. Fighting for a spot on pole position, crosses the line. Oh dear, it's not enough. A slide through the final corner might have ruined it all, but Lil Tango is also on a run at the moment and is 0.3 of a second up on their previous best. Could see themselves sniping a position off of Dicta, Narastarja or Emzo at the moment, who is leading the way on a 1 minute 30.223 as Lil Tango now through the final sector. Can they find time to go into pole? It's not enough. It's a 1 minute 30. Still, nevertheless, I believe a 1 minute 30.4. Ever so slightly behind Narastarja. And just that little bit away from Emzo. But that brings us to an end of qualifying. As Skillers at the moment across the line. Finds an improvement, but not enough. Alexander Dejoux also not putting in a time, competitive time. Entire field spread of drivers who set representative laps is 1.5 seconds. Wow, that's a very tight margin. Put it 14 drivers between. Now we just got to wait for Alexander and Dejoux, and then Emzo as well. Got to wait for their mechanics to pull them both in. Alexander does the right thing, retires. So it's just Emzo we're waiting for here. There we go. Emzo retiring as well from the session. So, now, I actually think in advance I'm just going to join the Discord call. I think it's a smart thing to do. Just join the commentator's room. I'll mute myself as well. Requires push to talk. I'll move into there then. So, Emzo on pole position. Do apologise about that. Now Staja in second, third for Lil Tango. Dick Turin in fourth, fifth for Metal Maskin, sixth for Hib. I think, you know what, we'll go through the qualifying results once we actually get into the lobby. I'll bring you over to the intro scene once again. I'll see you in due course, everyone. We'll just wait until everyone is loaded into the session. You could hear some slight ambience noises, I believe, in behind. Crowd talking. It's looking like a nice and sunny, but slight cloud coverage. Slick tyres are out in fashion for these drivers, though. Of course, turn up one could cause some havoc. Drivers going to be setting their strategies right here and now. Just a little bit of a waiting game at the moment. I'll check Twitch, see how many people currently watching. 13 viewers in the stream at the moment. I hope you're enjoying this race, or this qualifying session. The race is about to begin, everybody. Don't fear, they've actually just rolled away for their formation lap. I'll pull you over to the game team here. As here we are. Let's see what tyres everyone's opted for. Inside the top 10, of course, you've got to start on the tyre that you qualified on. So that's the case for Emzo in first, now Staja second, third for Lil Tango, Dicta in fourth, Metal Maskin in fifth, Hib in sixth, seventh for Cello, Nugget Box fight for the championship, only down in 8th position, Papa A-Bug in 9th, and then Blue Monkey rounding out the top 10. They want to start on a set with soft compound tyre. Everyone outside this point, it's a free choice. Bubbles on the set of the softs, as is Skillers. You're going to have the ultimate pace above everyone in terms of the tyres, completely fresh. I believe they call them sticker red in IndyCar. Yeah, I just saw that in behind. Danny White and Alexander Dejou made contact with Alexander going into the back of the AlphaTauri car. They're both on the medium tyres, so that is going to be detrimental, I'd say, to their performance at the beginning of the race, where grip is so important. And if you've not got the heat in the tyres, you're really going to struggle to generate that grip. You've got to be sticky to the surface of the track. Because when you're going from 0 to 60 in a click of the fingers, you've really got to have the grip in the tyres to go. If you don't have that, they're going to slide around. They're going to lose a lot of time and struggle to get up to that point. The other drivers on the warmed up red soft tyres, Red Bull tyres, it's going to be very tricky for them. But Emzo leads from now Staja, then Lil Tango in third. That's the top 3 coming into this race. I'd imagine it'd actually be probably better starting third than second. I feel like Mexico, it's a very long run down into the first braking zone, which is actually turn 2. As turn 1 is completely flat around here. It's going to be tricky for some of these drivers, I'd imagine. We'll have to see how it works out. We've all got to be respectful. We've all got to give each other room. There we go. I'm going to have one more sip of water and we'll get into the action. Turn off telemetry for now. I think I'll turn it back on later. As here we go, everybody. I hope you're ready for this race to kick off. We're waiting for V-Bug to pull into their grid slot. And here we go. The race begins here. The lights are coming on. 5 red lights. And we're underway for the Russian Grand Prix here in SRL. And it's been a brilliant start from Emzo down in towards turn number 1. Now Staja being cleared by quite some margin. Further back behind, they're going to have some battles throughout the pack as Dicta losing out to Metal Maskin almost, as is Cello going up the inside 3 abreast into the first braking zone. Contact between the pair of them. Oh my goodness me. Cello around, as is Dicta. And that was just a 3-2 situation. Could not work. Both of them being sandwiched and turned around, as they're now way back down the order, still fighting it out for the lower end of the point-paying positions. Bubble just ahead of Danny Might here. As, oh dear, there's another car off the circuit. I think there was contact maybe as the VSC has been deployed. Somehow Cello's got no front wing at all. Neither has Dicta. That worries me. That does worry me. They might have had some sort of collision together. They're both going to have to limp back to the pit lane. Because neither of them were really at fault for the incident. It was just a racing incident, I'll put it down as. But I'd imagine stewards are going to get a little bit active. Stewards will get active after this race finishes. At the front of the order, it all remains pretty much the same. Just have a quick look at the position change. We're back underway. Skillers somehow has made up 7 positions. So just dance around everyone, not a care in the world, and took 5th position. Of course, it helped that Dicta and Cello both had their spin. They both went around. So now we'll see what they can do. We begin lap number 2. Enzo leading from now, starting almost 1 full second, all clear of DRS actually. Now, of course, what's interesting is around this track, the DRS detection zone is actually just at the beginning of a lap. So as soon as lap 3 begins, DRS will be enabled. Normally you've got to wait a couple corners and then you get to a DRS straight. Oh, for Christ's sake. Right, everybody. Getting crashed. God, this thing really does nothing. Okay. I've got Alt F4 here. I'm going to mute myself and then get back to you once we're back in the race. So be patient, everyone. I do apologise for this. We have to smoke notice. There we go, we're back in. Alright, I've just come back to Enzo in the wall. Right, we're back in this race. I apologise for the incident. Somehow Enzo's gone for a spin. I don't know how that's happened. So here we are, now starting, now leads the way. Bad day at the office for Red Bull, bad day at the office for me as well. Pretty annoyed that 2 weeks in a row the game crashed. Oh well, what are you going to do? Danny Might's going to cruise by. Now Red Bull are at risk of being 14th and 15th position in this race. Which is pretty poor by their standards considering this championship. One Aston Martin has actually been able to attend this race. So it's not going to be as bad as they think it feel, I guess, but they to be 1 of 3 to be through their performance. Probably they can lose out the constructors to them if they can have a chance to do. Head of another box now in 8th position. With a result like this, now starting to be clear in the championship at the moment. On 74 points, will be taking home 25. 26 is the last man. That's another 9 going. So really looking in a good position is Maristajo. 1.7 seconds ahead of Miltango at the moment. Looks like all the battles currently taking place down and about the lower end of the point positions. We're riding on board Alexander in the McLaren car. Following behind the Haskins and the Alpine, caught in this DRS train. Alexander has got the drive. And down the straight through here, got the run on Papa Aberg. Going to the outside of the corner. Job done, I believe, as Papa Aberg can go inside close to making contact with the McLaren car, but has managed to hold position. Alexander Dejou has got even more grip around the outside of Metal Maskin here. Makes that move stick. Brilliant stuff from Alexander. In 5th position. Starting outside the top 10 now, finding themselves in 5th. Both in Skillers have a really improving position when they start as fast as that. You would expect to come out from the McLaren. The low McLaren in the race, but on the track last week, got penalties, dropped them down a few positions. But even to finish 3rd in the end. Are they going to be looking to close the gap to Hib and Skillers? Both these guys low on ERS power. Skillers blinking at red lights at the moment, so Hib does have the slight advantage. Goes on to the back of the Mercedes car. Alexander is going to look to close the gap. Try and take them both at the same time, catch them by surprise. We'll see through the second sector what can go on. We're on lap 25, lap 5. 27. Not too much going on at the moment, just following in train. Metal Maskin has actually lost DRS to Alexander in front. Here we go down the straight though. Easy as you like from him. Now Alexander could be looking to also close the gap. Try and catch up here. Use some of the DRS down the straight. Papa Aberg managed to also find position. We go Alexander has just got the upwards grip through this 3rd sector. It's almost, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just like a lot less tyre wear, of course, on the medium tyres. But I wouldn't expect the soft to die off this quickly. So we'll see what the McLaren can do here. Going down the straight, using up some of the ERS to close up the Skillers. Turn number 1, going to run wheel to wheel, side by side, almost making contact between the pair of them. Hib's going to close up the outside line, but coming into the back wheel almost. Skillers trying to run over the curbs here, and it's getting very tight. Hotly contested now, looking to go around the outside is Alexander. Hib takes 3 second time penalty. Alexander does not care as he looks now up the inside. It switches to contact and off the circuit. The pair of them go. We got this brilliant helicopter cam for this battle. Skillers now trying to find their way back into the battle here. Wheel to wheel, almost contact, forcing him into the wall. Here goes Alexander at the inside of Hib now, in towards the second sector, the right-hander. Hib not giving this one up easily, and here comes Skillers now, back up the inside of the Alpine car, riding off the circuit. Hib's gone around. No wing damage actually, but a spin for the Alpine, now out of the points in 11th position. That brings an end completely to that battle. So instigated by Alexander going up the inside. Hib not giving up the position. They're running side by side with Skillers. I'm not too sure what went on there, but it resulted in Hib going for a spin and losing it all, unfortunately. The battle still continues, back down the order. We're watching Bubbles at the moment, close up to the back of Nugget Box. In 8th position. Yellow flag once again in sector 3. I believe that is Hib going around. Unfortunate scenes there, really. So we'll see what can any of these drivers do. They're all concertina towards number 2 together. Nugget Box looks to be the one to try and go for a move on Metal Maskin. But again, not close enough, given that they're in a DRS train. You don't know what a DRS train is when everyone has DRS on each other, so the effect of it cancels out. Metal Maskin with a bad run through here. Could open up the door for Nugget Box to close up to the rear. We'll see what can he do. Going into the second sector here. Nugget Box close to the rear of the Haas. And I'd imagine that Metal Maskin is beginning to feel the pressure from the Aston Martin in behind. Bubbles could look to find the way through as well. Possibly could see a 3 wide situation. He'll go DRS now enabled for the two drivers following the pass. Does not feel the same effect coming into the straight. Nuggetbox clears him. What about Bubbles into the apex of the corner, but Nuggetbox finds himself in 6th position. Unfortunate Metal Maskin can't follow suit. Sorry, Bubbles can't follow suit. Aston sticking behind, but still is looking like the quicker driver at the moment. Maybe some slight wing damage or something to the half car. He's going to pull into the pit lane there. First of the drivers to come into box on lap number 8. So I'd expect hard tyres to go on there. Driver with wing damage, the only pit stop we've seen so far. Now we enter a bit of a lull period. Alexander Dujou has the best pace out of anyone so far. Looking to close up to the back of Lil Tango. Once again, with the better grip, does have a 3-second time for these two to contend with. That can be appealed. I know that he was sort of forced off the circuit when they're going side by side with him. Both have made contact and both went off the circuit twice there. We'll see what the McLaren car can do. Is onto the straight. Should be the easiest move all day for the McLaren driver. I don't think Lil Tango is going to try and fight this one out. There we go. Not even close to the corner. And Alexander Dujou is another one ticked off their list. Now 2.5 seconds to the back of Narasaja. The gap here is 12 positions made up by Alexander. Started in 14th position. Now possibly looking for the win of the race. Of course, the tyre situation will flip around later on in the Grand Prix. Undercut will come on for Narasaja. Undercut comes out. Didn't even give Alexander a chance to close up. But Nuggetbox here, closing back to Papa Aberg. To be defenceless into the apex of the corner here. And they go in towards the braking zone. Nuggetbox on the inside. Papa Aberg not going to give this one up nicely. Is now in towards the long-winded right-hander here, or left-hander, if I do say so. Papa Aberg loses out on that position. Bubbles could follow through. Now they're all very close in tandem at the moment. Number 46, Valentino Rossi, of course. Final race in MotoGP today. Emotional day for everyone. Now crested upon the Ferrari car, heralded by Bubbles through the second sector. This could be Bubbles' best race so far, if I'm not mistaken. But it's one of them. In a very high-paying point position. Have an A-bolt with a slide. That could open the door now for Bubbles to possibly go up the inside through here. Not quite, but now off the exit of the corner, what can they do is now opening up the DRS and using some of the overtake, using the battery to close up to the Alfa Romeo car down the straight here into the braking zone. There you go. Papa Aberg not going to give this one up too easily, trying to find a way through his Bubbles, desperate to get past, but it's not quite enough. They can't find the gap on the Alfa Romeo, and it's going to have to settle to stay in 6th position for the time being. But of course, another DRS straight comes up this time by, and I think Papa Aberg going to pull into the pit lane there, as is Nuggetbox. Lil Tango in as well. Skillers comes in too, so the window is firmly open for these drivers. Alexander Dujou leads this race at the moment. Bubbles in second, third for Danny White. Of course, these guys yet to pit in this race. Bubbles on a set of soft compound tyre, as is Blue Monkey. Those are all the drivers who have stayed out on circuit and haven't made their pit stops yet. See the tyre graphic on the screen here. I don't want to keep this up as it's very imposing on the screen, so you know what, I'll put it back to none. We don't need to see tyres at all time. Of course, once everyone pits, aside from the likes of Danny White and Alexander Dujou, they're all going to be on the set of the mediums. Got a bit of time yet before the McLaren and the AlphaTauri come in. They've entered a bit of a lull period at this point in the Grand Prix. Not too much going on. Drivers split up after the pit stops. A little bit of a shame, I would say. think Enzo's actually found their way back into train here. Even after that spin, losing the front wing completely. Having to come into the pit lane earlier than they'd have liked. Probably going to have to make another pit stop on this race as well, might I add. Then flag through 63, that might be for Blue Monkey. There is, indeed. We'll watch some battles unfolding. Skillers and Metal Mexican going to look to fight it out for the moment. For P7, well improved. P6 once Bubbles completes his pit stop. Now we're fighting out for the lower end of the positions. Through turn number 17 now. And turn 18. Skillers has got the run. Metal Mexican has got the DRS as well. Just opened up now. Very minimal left in the ERS battery. Could close up and go for a lurch and move up the inside, possibly in towards turn number 2, so not quite enough. So Bubbles emerging from the pit lane there behind Enzo. So the undercut has worked out very nicely. The likes of Aberg and Nugget Box, because now there's a bit of traffic in between. Say traffic, Enzo is champion leader, do not get me wrong. One of the quickest drivers on the grid at the moment. Not yet taking a win. Taking the 4th position in the British Grand Prix last week. See what can Skillers do. 4 tenths of a second back. But Metal Mexican does have DRS. I think they might have just missed it out. No, they do have it. So down the straight here, it's going to be a lot more difficult for Skillers to close up to the back of the Haas car. Still 4 tenths of a second. That gap is narrowing. They are closing up to each other, and you can see all Skillers going very deep on the brakes there. Almost riding over the grass as well, slightly on the inside. Going to lose a whole heap of time at the end of that fray. Could also invite Nugget Box more into the battle. Only 1.4 seconds back, needs 1 second to be able to take DRS. Lap 12, long. We're close to the halfway point of this race. Skillers is closing up. Not too much really to spy on at the moment. Oh, but Skillers does have a shorter gap than they did. As for Enzo, Enzo is closing up the back of Papa A-Bug. I could also invite Bubbles on the way through. Skillers, you just see on the top. We'll screen the top middle. Got a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. It's the 4th driver to take a penalty in this race so far. The other 3 being Cello, Hib, and then our race leader at the moment, Alexander Dejou. All of them have got 3-second time penalty, which of course will just dock 3 seconds off their time. They'll add it, and then that will possibly lose them a few positions. We'll have to wait and see how that shakes everything up later on when the race comes to an end. And of course drivers can appeal these penalties as well. So whatever's in the stewarding, oh dear. Again, Skiller's running very deep through there. Takes it very hot into the apex there. Kills their run for the next part of the track. Really do, I'd say brake a bit earlier if I was Skillers. But of course, what do I know? I'd say if I was on this grid, I would probably be in last position at the moment. I'm not quick in this game. At least I'm alright at commentary. I'm good at observing. They begin lap number 13. Right, we watch Aberg and Enzo's battle. Enzo has got DRS. Papa does not. Up the inside, now moving back over ahead of the Swedish driver. I'd say Swedish driver. I'm pretty sure most of these motorists are Swedish. I think Aristaja. One other driver, although not put a finger on it, Finland. Not too sure if we have any Norwegian or Danish drivers. Who knows? It's quite nice to have some representation. I do have a Norwegian friend who's not convinced to join this league. It's Papa Aberg still keeping close in back of Enzo. So possibly to go for a move at some point here. Of course, now the advantage flips over to the Alfa Romeo. Has got DRS down the straight. And it's closing to the back of the Red Bull car. But hasn't opted to open it. They've been able to go for the move and actually overtake. And Bubbles knows that. Bubbles has got the right idea. Tried to go for the move around the outside, didn't quite work out this time. Just gonna pull up Twitch chat there. Not too much going on. 13 viewers watching. You're all enjoying this race. Avo lost more time to Enzo. That could leave them vulnerable to the Ferrari car. Bubbles at the moment. They're going to ride together down and towards turn number 2, the first braking zone of a lap. Not quite close enough. Once at the halfway point, it's Grand Prix. 13 laps completed. On lap 14. So we get on to lap 15, it'll be 14 down, 14 to go. So the halfway point is looming. The current running order. Alexander June, Danny White and Darren Starcher, our top 3. 2 Hatzes run at 4th and 5th. Skillers in 6th with a 3-second time. Nuggerbox in 7th. And we're watching the battle for P8, I apologise, between Enzo, Aberg and Bubbles. See, is Papa Avo going to open up DRS this time? I think they do. 5 tenths in the back from Enzo. Possibly not a close enough gap to actually go for an overtake. Just have to wait and see. So again, they turned the DRS off a bit early. They'll concertina up together through the apex of the corner. Let's see how they all shape up. Enzo does need to think about pit stop potentially soon. Coming to pit very early on in lap number 3. I imagine just a few, maybe 1 or 2 laps after Alexander Dejoux comes into the pits. I think that's when Enzo will go in. Here we go. On towards lap number 15 for these guys. Papa Abo once again loses time at a turn about 18. Could open the door for Bubbles and they're all going to run very tight to the right hand side of the circuit. Now Bubbles looking to switch it to the outside on Papa Abo, trying to get the more momentum through the corner here. Now into the left hander. Up next, turn number 4. Not close enough again. Bubbles really just needed to send it and keep within the slipstream, I have to say. Not been able to make the most of having the DRS and has used up some of the overtake as well. Now blinking red lights on the back of the Ferrari car. That means they're sub 10% on the ERS levels. And so that is reduced power by 50%, if I'm not mistaken. It'll be difficult to continue and really fight with the aggression and vigour they have been doing so far in this race. Yellow flags in sector 1 and 2 are Dicta going around, and indeed it is. No front wing for the Alpha Tauri. Again, all these drivers close up together in a very clean battle, I'd say. Not too much contact with this. Might jinxed it there, who knows. Turn number 18 here. Bubbles got the closest run that they've had so far in this race. Enzo defends to the inside once again. They're all closing up together. Papa Ebo could be looking to the inside. At a half look, didn't commit. I'd say a little bit too far back. Day late and a dollar short, as Martin Brundle will put it. I would like saying that one. Wasn't close enough. Seems to be a recurring theme in this battle. But I think the medium runners of Alexander Dejoux and Danny White have got to think about a pit stop soon. Victor finally finding their way back to the pits, now down in 15th position, way down the order. Could be their race over. Losing their front wing twice in a row. Of course, could have been contact between Cello and themselves. At turn number 4 on lap 1. I heard the front wing snap off. I heard the contact somewhere. I don't know what happened to the ball. I think there Alexander Daju finally comes into the pit lane. But we've been watching this battle all this time. Bubbles running really deep into the corner. Time. So Danny White also comes in the pits. He's going to unleash Narastaja back into the lead of the Grand Prix by some margin as well, because with that undercut. But Alexander Daju is going to have a lot fresher tyres. So we'll find a new battle. I think Skillers is trying to look for an opportunity on Metal Maskin. Not going to be enough. Right, Metal Maskin on Lil Tango. Close, but not close enough. Alexander Daju emerged in P5, just 1.3 seconds back from Skillers, who is close in this battle. Currently raiding on for P2 contact. Metal Maskin had a bad run through turn number 5. Opened the door a little bit from Skillers. And that contact has invited Alexander right into this battle. Now 6 tenths per second back, so with a bunch of ERS in the battery, a lot of percentage in that McLaren. It's going to be a field day coming up for them. So through the next part of the track, I believe that was just turn 10 or 11. Hib gets a 3-second time penalty. Skillers closing up the back of Metal Maskin through here. What can they do in towards the braking zone? Alexander Daju also trying to find an avenue coming into now this chicane here. No moves being made. They're all going to continue to fight it out. Driving for me. Alexander Daju goes up the inside. Skillers now got the inside for this next part. The superior grip, the soft tyres, completely fresh, sticker softs, as they would put it in IndyCar. The number 69 car got him. He's coming through turn number 18 now. Metal Maskin, you have to say, is feeling a bit defenceless. Before DRS becomes active, he's drawn alongside. And I'd say easy move for Alexander Daju. Skillers could also try to find an opportunity. Not quite close enough, but now Alexander Daju has got the run on Lil Tango. Already in 3rd position on the podium at the moment. Papa Evo also finally found a way back past as I think lagged out for Skillers. Papa Evo and Enzo wheel to wheel through turn number 4 up towards turn number 5. We were watching that from the point of view of Bubbles, who's got the best seat in the house now, still wheel to wheel through the 1st sector split. Who's going to come out on top in this affair? As now inside for Aberg. Enzo along the outside, got the momentum and has made that move stick, but now Bubbles as well, trying to look up the inside and could go up the inside of the Red Bull car as well. Almost contact between the pair of them. That's going to allow Papa Aberg to possibly get back into the fight. Not quite, as Enzo maintains P7 in this race. Papa Aberg loses out, goes down into 9th. Bubbles has also managed to pick up a position here. Is now coming in towards the straight down through here. Bubbles has got the run on Enzo and could be looking to snipe the position. He was fighting them for a long time in this race. Now has a look to the outside. He's got the inside low for the chicane, riding deep into the braking zone. Enzo made contact with him and now through wheel to wheel off the exit and in towards the 3rd sector. Enzo's found a way back through. Papa Aberg does go into the back of him. Oh my goodness me, there's a lot of contact between these guys. It's inviting him as well into the battle too. And so now it commences almost on towards lap number 19 of this race. And once again, Alexander Daju managed to find a way past Lil Tango. And I think I get to calm my voice ever so slightly here. Great battles we just witnessed there between Enzo, Papa Aberg, and Bubbles. Hib, more of a bystander in that one, but has also managed to claw back a lot of time that they lost earlier on with the contact with Alexander Daju at some point. Now could be looking in towards the fight for P7. We've got a 4-car battle for 7th position. Currently led by Enzo, Aberg in 8th, 9th for Bubbles, and then Hib just behind. Got to watch out for Danny White as well on a fresh set of the softs. Could be closing up to the freight soon. Quick swig of my water. Here we go. Papa Aberg to the back of Bubbles. Especially the other way round. And I think the battle sort of subsided a little bit. So Maskin's lost position to Skillers, who's managed to get back into the session here. A little bit tired today, I will apologise. I also was having some internet troubles before coming to this race, and I remember I was messaging Cello and he was freaking out, but I managed to get it working, hooked up an Ethernet cable. Bob's your uncle. Been able to stream it today, and all appears to be well. So, what's it like in the battle at the moment? Not much really. Too fast at the moment. Bubbles is looking too close again to the alpha male, Kappa A-Bug. A bit quiet at the moment as well. Sort of lean back, moving around the chair. Get the right muscle in here. Nice and straight. Seems like the battle could be reigniting itself. Now 0.3 of a second between Emzo and A-Bug. Locking horns for the majority of this race. Circle to the alpha male. Fighting out with the bull. The Red Bull. Special Turkish Grand Prix livery. Tribute to Honda. Love the look of this car. Do kind of miss the normal Red Bull. With the prancing horse as well. Scarlet Red Ferrari. Find their way into this race. And the Alpine, the hardened Alpine of Kim actually could have the run in towards turn number whatever this is, up the inside for the next part. Bob's going to have the inside line for the next part here, and oh dear, contact between the pair of them. I don't think Bobbles was him was expecting him to stick the nose in there. Half expected Bubbles to back out. Alexander Jew gets another penalty as well, pushing a bit too hard on the softs. Now 6 seconds of penalties in their favour, against their favour. Helps out Narastasha. Still only 3.2 seconds back. So maintaining the gap quite nicely, I would say. Here we go though. Bubbles could have another crack of the whip on him. Gonna go back the other way. Both these guys sub 10% on the ERS levels. No power in the battery. And oh dear! Hib's gone for a spin. Oh dear, you can't reset the track like that. But Hib went for a spin, got a bit trigger happy on the exit. Of turn number 2. And all that work they did, clawing their way back in this race. I don't know why I wasn't enthused by it, I just sort of just realised it. Unfortunately, that's them out the points in this race. And then number 3. Once again, the original trio. They were fighting it out for so long. We've been watching this battle for about, I want to say, like 8-9 laps here. Because they've all been so close at the moment. But we will switch away soon. We'll go along now because Metal Maskin closing to the back of Skillers. Not quite close enough. It seems to be a recurring theme in this Grand Prix. Drivers getting close, not close enough. We want to see the tyres. I'll put them up here. You see Narastasha 11 laps on the set medium compound. I've got sleeves quickly. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Struggling ever so slightly. I will not lie to you. As Metal Maskin is closing up to the back. Both these guys with similar levels of tyre wear. Just 2 laps separates them. Skillers, of course, I believe Metal Maskin was actually one of the first drivers to come into the pit lane. A lot of these drivers pitted around about the same time. Emzo and Papa A-Bug, their battle still continues. Papa A-Bug once again, they trade positions. And Bubbles still looking in this one. The Ferrari. That wear their helmet coming across there. That was quite a nice shot. Yeah, Emzo and Papa A-Bug both ran up the circuit. I think if Emzo got a penalty for that, surely A-Bug got a warning. Danny White also gets a penalty for exceeding track limits. So once again, these drivers suffering the track limits. That is Russia. There we go. Cello gets one as well. So they're all beginning to struggle ever so slightly. I think once this little fight goes on here, we've got to peer away to possibly a much more important battle. Here goes Emzo up the inside. And a half look. Could have gone for the move. But didn't quite. Just decided to bide their time. Stick him behind. And that subsides that one. Now it's time. There we go. Finally got the sneezes out. It's time we look at Narastasha and Alexander. Alexander Zhu has got 5 laps on this set of the softs. Now Sotchi 13 on the medium. Both of these drivers are going to be able to go to the end of the race. The grippier soft tyres wear out a bit quicker than the mediums. Emzo trades position once again with Aberg. Bubbles still the bystander in that battle. We'll see though, as the gap is now 2/10 of a second, 2.5 tenths separate the 2 leaders of this Grand Prix. Narasaja not here last week, where Alexander Zhu seemed to have some of the best pace out of anyone in that Grand Prix. Now Narasaja is back looking to assert their dominance, but here they go down the straight. Now Narasaja can be defenseless in comparison to the McLaren car, as now rising through the twisty part of this straight, as Narasaja loses out on the position. Are they going to fight back? No, they are not, but still could take DRS and go for it once again. Nuggetbox and Skillers fighting it out as well. Skillers going to look to go wheel to wheel down the straight and in towards the braking zone. I think Skillers just about holds on onto that position. Papa Aberg again going to look in towards Emzo, and we'll watch this from Bubbles' point of view, as around the outside Emzo has to defend, not quite enough, as Aberg makes her way back up into 6th position. The battles are all kicking off at the moment, and as Nuggetbox has found their way back into 5th ahead of Skillers. Skillers, interestingly enough, looks into the pit lane, and I think that is because of wing damage there on the Mercedes car. You do see it there on that end plate. That is going to be surely their race in the coffin and all over for them. It's now down the straight once again. Here they go. Emzo has got DRS on Aberg, who does not have that luxury, is now coming down through turn number 1, tucking into the slipstream of the Alfa Romeo, closing up to the back. The Alfa Romeo getting bigger as every time we look across. Not quite enough. Not enough to go for the overtake. Danny White, again in this battle. We see another runner who's been able to close up to the fray. And indeed, with the fresher soft tyres, could look to take position potentially of any of these guys, and could take all 3 of them. 4-car battle for P6 in this race. Of course, there was for 7th. Then Skillers came into the box for another pit stop. I'm surprised Emzo's still going in this one. I do respect it, actually, being able to stay out for so long. Here we go though. They're about to come onto the straight. Dicta with tyres in the pit lane, I believe that is. Their race is over. Might as well have got to the end. But here goes Emzo, looking up the inside once again on Papa Aberg. Not quite. Again, not quite enough. They're going to try and get the switchback move. And in towards the 3rd sector, looks up the inside of Aberg. Bubbles also trying to find their way through. Danny might as well, just trying to stay back as far as they can. But now the battle could all kick off as they begin lap number 25. The race is in its twilight era. We are going to see the end of this race very soon, as now they rise onto the DRS straight, the main straight, where they're going to reach speeds of up to 325 kilometers per hour. Emzo looking to take the slipstream. Aberg weaving down the straight and now coming into the braking zone. There goes Emzo up the inside line of Papa Aberg. What can Bubbles do as well? Trying to fight this one back is Aberg, looking up the inside line and turn number 4, wheel to wheel contact between the pair of them. Once again they touch, but now coming in towards turn number 5, Papa Aberg brilliantly, valiantly, bravely takes back the position. P6. Still, the battle rages on. Bubbles still holding this one off as well in P8. I think it's going to be to the frustration as well of Danny Might, because Danny Might has got the fresher soft tyres and still has the opportunity to utilise them and get past, but the DRS train really is coming into effect for his teammate out of this Grand Prix. Once again, the DRS is going to open up this time for Emzo once again. But this time, Papa Aberg might not have the necessary drive and the necessary power to fight this one back, as here they go down the straight. DRS open for the 3 cars following behind the Alfa Romeo. Emzo looks for the overtake, as does Bubbles coming into the braking zone there. There goes Emzo up the inside, and there goes Bubbles as well, finding it potentially around the outside of Emzo for P6 in this Grand Prix. They're going to run wheel to wheel now through the apex of the corner. Emzo loses out of the position. Bubbles brilliantly in towards 6th position. Papa Aberg tries to fight this one back, and Danny might as well. But what a battle we have just witnessed as they begin lap number 26, 25. What a lap this has been for these guys. Lap 26 now rolls along, and the battle still does continue, as Emzo has probably been a bit shocked by the amount that he's been fought there. I think I can take a quick rest as well. Never mind, I can't because they goes up the inside once again on Emzo. On Bubbles, makes that move stick. Tries to pull what Abo did. Trying to go back up the inside. Did Bubbles, but not quite there. Danny Might as well still in this fray. Not been able to capitalize on anything. Not been able to go for a move whatsoever. But I'd imagine on the final lap of this Grand Prix, it's going to kick off. We're going to have to turn away at some point for to watch the leaders come through the final part. Which we didn't have to, but I'd say it's traditions to show the winners of the race crossing the line. Here we are, Bubbles. Now is the DRS on Emzo. Down what has been a straight that has had many battles before in this Grand Prix. There they go, down the straight, weaving along, trying to pull a dummy, I think. That's worked out brilliantly. On the inside, I think Danny might as well. Trying to find a move. As oh dear, contact between the pair of them and more contact. Papa Rayberg and Emzo. Both of them losing out on the positions. Really unfortunate here. You know what? I think the battles have got to come to an end at some point. And unfortunately, it's not the way that we'd have wanted it to end. But you know what? We'll watch on the final lap of this Grand Prix. I think we've got to watch our race leader, even though they've got penalties to their name. Still running off the circuit as well. Not helping their case. They've got 6 seconds of time penalties. Narastar just simply has to keep it clean. And on the circuit, they can afford to lose a number of seconds on this final lap. Doesn't mean they should, but of course, what is best for them is to just play it safe here. It is very unlikely that Alexander is going to get all of these penalties removed. It's possible to potentially get one of them removed, but I think it is all going to come to an end here. Lap 27 of 27, starting all the way down, and on what I think was 13th or 14th position even, for Alexander Dejou in the McLaren car. Now it's just got one more sector before they see the flag first. Turn number 16 complete, up towards turn number 17 here. Alexander Dejou hits the apex and now brakes for the final time, takes it slowly as well, just to secure it. And there it is, the win comes out from Alexander Dejou, but there it is. Narastar takes what I believe is their 3rd win of this season and win at the championship lead. Alexander Dejou going to keep that position that they had. Cello out of this race on the final lap. Lil Tango finishes in 3rd, Metal Maskin in 4th, 5th for Nugget Box. Then Danny Might in 6th. Going to come through the final corner. They managed to get past Bubbles actually. But then Bubbles picks up the position without a penalty to their name. As old. Well. Okay. Emzo spins out across the line. Just shocked me there. As he was going to be second last driver to cross the line. Also spins out. A lot of these drivers don't like having front wings around the Sotchi Autodrome. There we go. Just got to wait for Rayberg here, the last driver. And then we can call it quits on what it's been. I won't lie, they're not the most interesting Russian Grand Prix of all time, but certainly had its moments, had its battles as well. You do have to respect the likes of Aberg, Emzo and Bubbles as well for putting on such a great show. There it is, Alexander Dejou does take the win. Driver of the day. But it is going to be this man on top of the podium. Narastar is your race winner. The Flying Finn, head and shoulders above the rest. 2 Swedes take 3rd and 2nd and 3rd. Here we are, we've got a full comprehensive list of the results. Narastar, after 43 minutes, takes the win of this Grand Prix. Alexander Dejou, our driver of the day, finishes in 14th. Started in 14th, finishes in 2nd. 3rd for Lil Tango, Metal Maskin in 4th. 5th for Nugget Box, 6th for Bubbles, 7th for Danny Might, Papa Aberg in 8th, Blue Monkey in 9th, 10th for Emzo, Skillers in 11th, missing out on the points unfortunately, as did Heeb, Viberg, and then 2 DNFs in this race, Cello and Dicta. But with that, everybody, that brings us to an end of the Russian Grand Prix. I believe we're going to be able to get some of the drivers in for interviews. We'll bring our first one in here. I can't pull anyone in. Also, I've got to save. I can't save the race replay, unfortunately. But Cello, if you are listening, I can send you a message as well on Discord. There we go. Right, I've just asked him to pull Lil Tango into the commentary box with me. Here we are. Lil Tango, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, mate. I'm just going to check, make sure that everyone can hear you. I think that is the case. So let's talk about how this race went from your perspective. How did you feel you had the pace in comparison to the other drivers?
I think it went really well actually. I didn't make any mistakes. I wasn't the quickest. I'm happy with third. I think that was the best I could do. So I'm very happy.
I think I'd agree with you. You know, a podium's nothing to be upset about. Of course, this was the Russian Grand Prix, but coming into the next race, we're headed to Belgium. How do you feel about that circuit?
Ooh, I think I'm okay at Belgium. It's one of my not the best tracks, but I'm okay at it. I think I could do well. Not better than here probably, but yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, this was your first race in
Yeah.
the championship. So to already get a podium, how's that going to put you in terms of confidence coming into the into the next part of the season?
We'll see. I don't know. I hope I can get more podiums. That would be very good. But yeah, I hope I can get a win as well. That would be very nice.
Absolutely. I don't have any more questions from you, but really well done on the podium today.
Thank you.
Very well deserved. Hopefully we can get the next driver in. I think we'll pull in Alexander Dejoux in here. So hello, Alexander. Can you hear me, my friend?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so let's get this interview started off here. I think out of anyone, you probably had the best pace today. So just tell us how, from your perspective, that first part where you pulled up so many positions, how'd that go for you?
It went yeah, like I wanted it to go. I mean, there was a little bit of carnage, which helped me, and some guys spinning. But yeah, I was absolutely committed to getting at least top 10 before the first lap with my mediums, because I knew that top 10 in the mediums is a really good position to be in. And after like lap five or four, then I started to get. I'm really fast there, I believe. So yeah, we'll see. I think I can do a really good performance there as well.
Absolutely. I just had some technical issues there. It feels like there's quite a lot of them. I accidentally changed the scene by accident. But what Alexander said is that Belgium's one of his best tracks, and coming into this one, he's feeling very confident. But from me, I think that's all that I've got to say. I've got to keep my OBS up on screen as well, just so I don't make any more mistakes. But from me, that's everything. Wishing the best of luck for you coming into next week and the rest of the season. Hopefully, I can hear your voice once again in the interview room.
Yeah, I hope I can hear yours as well.
All right.
See you, man.
See you, man. So with that, we'll bring in Narastasia here. And we'll get the interview from the race winner. Narastasia, can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Brilliant stuff. So from this race, you were leading it. And then, of course, Alexander came up behind you. and he had some really great pace. And do you think the penalties that he had, maybe without them, you would have pushed a bit harder and tried to fight him more?
I don't think so. I felt like that the phase was pretty good for me. I have some problems with my setup, so I wasn't truly confident with my drive, so I was taking it easy. And yeah, Alexander was very fast, but I think he took a couple of IndyCar lines or something. He took very wide some corners, so I think he gained so much time from there. I have no idea that you could drive like that, but anyways, I think I was confident. I tried to stay under 3 seconds when I was chasing him. So I'm not sure if one of two of his penalties will be removed. So I tried to push for under 3 seconds.
And I think with this result, you'll be taking the lead of the driver's standings. So coming into the rest of the season, how's that going to affect your confidence?
I'm not sure really. I feel like I'm driving well every single weekend, so I'm pretty confident, I guess.
That is fair enough. And speaking of confidence, I guess Belgium is our next race. How do you feel around there? Do you think Alexander? He said that it was his best track. Do you think you can compete with him there?
I think we will see. I feel like it's kind of pain to drive there, but I need to do some practice and hope for best.
Yeah, well, of course, practice does make perfect. But that is all my questions that I had lined up for you. Thank you for joining me in the commentary box, and a really well done for taking what I think is your third win of the season. And I'm hoping to hear you back here in the future.
Yeah, thanks you, man.
Okay, so that brings us to an end of the stream, everybody. Thank you all very much for joining. You can catch me here next week on the 21st of November for the Belgian Grand Prix. 22 laps around Spa-Francorchamps. Going to be a very interesting race. But from me, everybody, that is all. Thank you all very much for watching. Make sure you follow the Scandinavian Racing League YouTube, Twitch channel. There you go, and I hope to see you all here very in the future. From me, it is thank you and goodbye.